Well, welcome back. Now, everyone would like to be financially independent. They'd like to be young and good looking, and they'd like to have lots of money. So let's continue and let's see what we can learn about becoming financially independent fast. So to get started, number one, it helps to have a few skills. Now, what skills do you have? If you don't have a lot of skills, well, you'll pick up some on this episode, but you need to start thinking about people that are already doing well. You want to take your instruction and your opinions from people that are already making money. So certainly having desire to make money is admirable, but it's also just as important to find people that are making money and using them as your guides. Now understand that if you're going to be in a business, you're going to have to be a problem solver, and you're going to have to be willing to show people that you have skills that are worth paying for. So let's think about this. Where are you going to get those skills? If you don't have them, you're going to have to get them. Yes, you could go to school to get them. Yes, you could take training to get them. You need to associate with people that are already investing, that understand what you understand and are already doing what you already want to learn. Now, most businesses start out small. They start out and they want to grow. Well, you grow because you're making money. All right, you're going to make money if you can solve problems for other people. So if you have solutions, you're going to do well. I picked a business where I could be a solution for a lot of people, and I'll tell you about it in another few minutes. If you can expect people to pay you if you have solutions. So if you're a solution provider, you can solve problems. People are going to want to do business with you. All right, so think about doing good. Always thinking about doing good, and your business will get better and better. Now, if you can help other people do that, they're certainly going to want to do business with you. Now, I knew what I wanted to be when I was young. I knew I wanted to be a pilot. I wasn't born as a pilot. So that meant I was going to have to take training. So that meant I had to go to special school to do that. I had to learn from experienced people. So if I wanted to be a carpenter, wouldn't it be the same way? If I wanted to be a musician, wouldn't it be the same way? If I wanted to be a health worker, wouldn't it be the same way? Well, it's going to be the same thing for you. You're going to have to get experience, and you're going to have to develop those skills, okay? What are we trying to do here? We're trying to become financially independent fast. And before I finish this video, I'll show you how. But you'll need to get the experience, and you'll have to learn how to do it. So 30 years ago, I discovered a business that was little known, but it certainly was lucrative. I needed to make money. Now, money making is a skill, so you need to develop that. Now, I found a business that was very exciting. So my discovery told me, wow, I can buy these properties for absolutely pennies on the dollar. It was a subset of real estate, and these properties were coming back onto the market because the government had confiscated them. Well, I could find them for pennies on the dollar, and whatever I sold them for, it was going to be my profit. So I could make outrageous profits, but I had to learn how to do that. That's a process. It's a step-by-step process. All right, so in this episode, I'm discussing how to become financially independent fast. I'll be right back. Briefly, I'll review this. First of all, you need skills. Where are you going to get skills? You can get skills from people that are already doing it. If you can't find people that are already doing it, you'll have to find a school, you'll have to find a training program so that you can learn how. People only will buy from you or only do business from you if you don't have solutions for them, you can't solve problems for them, they're not going to do business. So you want to become financially independent, you want to do it fast. Well, I'm going to give you some examples of my students that do that. Okay, so this isn't about me, it's about you. So you're going to have to find people that have experience. So number one, find people that are successful. Find coaches, find mentors. Follow the steps that they give you. Years ago, they called that being an apprentice. It's the same situation today. You must find someone that's going to be able to guide you. Now, I found a little-known program that was available, and it turns out it had been around for 200 years. I just discovered it. Once I found it, I realized immediately that if I could buy for 10 cents on the dollar and sell for 50 cents on the dollar, I was going to be able to make a lot of money, and I could make that judgment before I ever even made an investment. So I'm going to explain in detail how a Canadian woman and her adult son, they started out learning this process, and they made over $100,000. They did that because they learned a step-by-step system, and they followed it. And by following it, guess what? they made $100,000 within 6 months' time. Folks, in my opinion, that's a fast track to success. Now, not everyone makes $100,000, but what if you can make $20,000, $30,000, $40,000, or $50,000 on one deal? Well, that's certainly possible. So look over my shoulder and watch what we're going to do next. So here in the United States, there's over 3,000 counties that all have tax delinquent property. What do they do with those? Well, they confiscated them, first of all, and now they just want to sell them. And they don't want to sell them for retail price. They want to sell them quickly. So they discount them 60, 70, 80%. All right, then they put them on the market, and they basically sell the property for the back taxes, for 10 or 20 cents on the dollar. Now, if you can buy for 20 cents on the dollar, and there's no mortgage, you can sell for anything you want, you have a huge margin for profit. So the difference between the purchase price and your outrageous selling price is your profit. Now, local county governments have employees to pay. Okay, they have to pay the firefighters. They have to pay the school teachers. They have to pay the police departments. So these counties have these properties. They just want to sell them so they can collect the back taxes. This business has been around for over 200 years. Now, how did this all come about? The state legislature authorized all counties to levy taxes, collect taxes. If they can't collect taxes, what they do is they confiscate the property. You can buy these properties wholesale for 10, 20 cents on the dollar. Now, not everyone pays their property tax, so there's going to be plenty of these. There's going to be some counties are going to have dozens, some will have hundreds of, and there's even places that have thousands of these properties. Okay, so the county governments, all 3,000 of them, have properties that they want to sell. So there's going to be thousands of these sold every single year. Now, I've been at auctions in a place like Los Angeles where there's 1,000 eager buyers in the room trying to buy for 10 and 20 and 30 cents on the dollar, and they'll have over 2,000 properties to sell. That will take all day. Now, most auctions are only going to have 100 properties to sell. The point is, there's going to be enough for everyone. Now, the county doesn't want these properties, so what are they going to do? They're going to sell them for the back taxes. Now, I know this sounds amazing, but it's true. All you have to do is learn how to do it. This is a fast track to that financial independence you want. It's the fast track. Believe me, if you want to become financially independent fast, you need to learn a business like this one. So are there other businesses like that? Yes. Can you pick the ones you want? Yes. Here's one that's right here in front of you where you can get 60, 70, 80% discounts, 80% discount, and there's no mortgage or deed of trust loan on these properties. The county has already canceled the mortgage or the deed of trust loan, and you buy free and clear properties in most cases. Now, ask yourself a question. Here's a perfect example. If the property had a retail value of $200,000, the tax assessor says it's $200,000, and you could buy it for 20 cents on the dollar, would that be a good deal? Absolutely. So a $200,000 property, you buy it for 20 cents on the dollar, you've only spent $40,000. Well, that might sound like a lot, but it's sure cheap for that one property. Now, you can sell it for anything you want. Let's say it was a property in Los Angeles and you lived in Dallas. Well, you don't want to wait around to try and sell it, so why not sell it for 60 cents on the dollar? You bought it for 20, now sell it for 60. That means you'd sell it for 120. So if you bought something for 40 and you could sell it for 120, that margin is all profit that you get to keep. Would that get you on the road to financial independence quickly? Well, I think it really would. All right, so if you've done the math, $200,000 property, you paid 20%, that's $40,000. The property's still worth the $200,000, but you'll sell it for $120. That's going to be a huge margin between the 40 and the 120. Think about that. You're on your way to financial independence. Nationwide, there's going to be 5,000 of those auctions every year. So let's go back to my Canadian investors. What did they do? First of all, the whole episode I'm talking about is buying property wholesale, but you need to get educated to learn how to do it. So they got themselves educated. They bought for pennies on the dollar. Basically, they were in Seattle, Washington, which is King County. They purchased a property, and it turned out it was a residential lot. But it wasn't just one. It was residential, and it was being sold as one, but there was 4 properties there. So when they sold it as 4 properties and not just one. Okay, the tax man just wanted the taxes on one. So they spent $34,000. That was a total investment. they sold it to investors for $134,000. That took 6 months' time. Folks, I would say that was the fast track to be financially independent. All right, now, residential properties across the country will come up for sale at tax defaulted auctions. Okay, this mother and son team, they made $100,000, all because they took the time to learn how to do it. All right, so my answer is, this is a skill. You need to develop skills, and there's numerous auctions every single year. Now, if you attend these auctions, I can tell you right now, you need to then go look at before you go to the auction, you need to look at the property and make sure that it's there, that it didn't burn down, that there wasn't a flood, that there wasn't a hurricane, and it's not next to a chicken farm, because if it is, you're going to have a tough time selling it because they don't smell too good in July and August. Now, my name is Ted Thomas, and I have a free gift for you. It's right below me.